This is the Callaway AI Smoke Triple Diamond, and I'm well impressed with it. So the setup I've got here today is a 9-degree head, and I've got it on normal loft settings, neutral, straight, and I've got it in the new Denali 6.0, which is a normal stiff, 60 grams, and I'm going to give it a bash. So I did some initial testing yesterday with Kyle when they arrived, and there's a couple of settings that I want to talk you through shortly. So keep watching if you want to see the best settings for this driver, in my opinion, because it spikes the ball speed up. Now the first thing I want to say is that with the Denali shaft, it feels nice and soft, nice and smooth. It doesn't feel too hard to get through the ball. And it goes like a train off the face. I find it quite difficult to hit it under 300 yards, which is really nice. My misstrikes used to go sort of like 285, 290, sort of maybe scraping 300, good ones over 300. Some of my misstrikes are now going over 300 quite comfortably without any trouble. Now when it comes fresh out the box, you'll have two weights in the sole of this club. One is 2 grams, one is 14 grams. Now when you get it out the packaging, you might have the 14 gram weight at the back. So there's more weight at the back of the club. Now in theory, that makes it more forgiving. Because when I have the heavy weight at the front, if I hit it off center, it will twist around that point. And if I have the heavy weight at the back, it won't twist around that point as much, so we don't get as much deflection, we don't lose as much speed from that off-center strike. However, for the first time ever, I've seen a forward weight here getting the 14 gram weight at the front. I've hit it off center and it still goes like a train because there's AI technology in this club face. They've looked at thousands of golf shots for this club, for the type of golfer that hits this club. They've got the forgiveness in exactly the right place for the golfer that's choosing this club. Now these are normally aimed at lower handicappers and faster swingers, or anyone that gets the ball going too high and they want to keep the ball down and flight the ball a bit more. Now in previous models of club that are low spinning, I've hit the ball off center and really seen a drop off of ball speed, but it just seems to maintain it so well. Now yesterday, testing this head, we did test it in a different shaft, but Kyle and I both managed to hit the ball 350, which is really nice to see. Although Kyle did it more often than I did. I have to jump out of my skin to get up there. He's a bit more fit and able because he's a fitness instructor. Nice and high, a little bit to the right. That was fairly middle-ish. 286 carry, rocking up to 305. My swing's a little bit cold, so my speed is down to my normal maximum. So that was 115 swing speed. I normally swing at 120 once I'm getting into it. Oh, that's a good example. That is a very good example. High on the face. High on the face encourages higher flight, lower spin. Getting the ball up to 316. And one of the main things I've noticed is that I'm getting a few strikes where the smash factor reaches 1.48, 1.49. Now the smash factor is the relationship between speed of club and speed of ball. If you strike it more effectively on most drivers, you get a higher smash factor, so you get to the top 1.4s. 1.5 is the maximum that should be allowed from a golf club face. But I normally go around about the 1.42, 1.43 area, generally speaking, on most drivers that I hit. But I flight the ball quite efficiently, so I do get a decent amount out of it. I've seen the highest smash factor numbers from this driver than I've ever seen with another club. 1.46. So if I tap into my maximum speeds on a couple of shots, if I get the speed really working. Oh, that was high and toey. That was right off the top toe of the club face, and it's carried 307 and it's rocking up to 331. Lovely. So that strike was right up here. So when I get the weight further forward, the ball speed maintains a higher number, so I get more speed off the face, but because there's so much forgiveness in the club face itself, I don't feel the need to get the weight back. So I can swing through this club with a lot more confidence, knowing that if I do misstrike it, it's still going to get out there, it's still going to go. I'm not going to drop off the face of the earth. High on the face again. Sort of like high toe. Normally I feel like that would be like a 260, 270 shot, and it's 336, like it's ridiculous. If I compare this club face to my old driver, it's a lot deeper. Like if I get the baselines there, you can see where the two dots are on the face. That dot is a lot higher on the Callaway because the face is so much deeper. If I catch the ball at the top here, I'm still getting club face and the ball's still going forward. If I get the ball in the same sort of location on this old driver, I'm catching the top, it's going straight up. So the depth of the face is really nice because you catch more dimples and you still get the ball going forward when you just nudge that side of the face. So that was 335, 311 carry. Efficiency wasn't even that perfect. The efficiency was 1.42 and I've still got 335 out of it. It is ridiculous. All right, let's see if I can get a fast one out the middle. No, that's off the top of the face again. You could probably hear the pitch of the strike. And it still carried 300 and it's still gone 324. I haven't seen those results from such bad striking before. And I saw Rick Shields' video on all the new drivers, and he said that with the ping, he found the middle of the face more often. So he felt like he could strike the ball in the middle more often. I think with the Callaway, you don't need to strike the middle of the face. Like, okay, it might not feel perfect, it might not feel great, but you're still getting the ball up there, you're still getting it out there with a lot more ease. So with the Ping G430 10K, you've got a ridiculously high moment of inertia. So the twisting on off-center hits is really far reduced. So when you hit it slightly off-center, you probably don't feel it. With this, with the weight at the front, I think you probably feel the off-center hit a bit more, but because of the technology in it, the ball still behaves itself, which is absolutely delightful. Go on, let's open up. I'm gonna go for a big high fade. That was more in the middle. Oh, it just sails. 305 carry, getting up to 326. I'm averaging like 325-ish with this. If I get a bit faster, I can get that even further. But I can swing with more speed and more confidence knowing that my off-center strikes still go. So with this, my spin rate is just a little bit high. The shaft is stiff. I normally use extra stiff. The loft is 9. I've been using something more like 8, 7.5. So I've got more loft and a softer shaft than I'm used to, so I'm getting a tiny bit too much spin. If I swap this shaft out for a 6.5, so extra stiff, and go 1 degree lower in the face, so I'm going in -1 on the old loft on the settings. I'm now going 6.5 in the flex. So when I'm giving it the full beans into the ball, that shaft is keeping up with my pace a bit more. When the shaft is too soft, it can kind of deflect, deviate and vary a little bit more, but the 6.0 I would quite happily get on the golf course with it. I'm just seeing if I can get a bit more out of this. So if I do that same feeling swing where I aim left and open up a little bit, I open up to get up on the ball. Lower spinning, not quite as much carry. I didn't get my fade, but oh no, I've hit a not quite right shot and it's over 320 still. I cannot wait to get this thing on the golf course. So those stats are really bad, like 1100 spin, lower spin, that's what I was trying to fish for. So when I haven't got enough spin, I need to put more speed into it to lift the ball up and keep the ball in the air. So I might have gone a bit too aggressive on loft and shaft. But I think doing loft and shaft will match my maximum speed. It will match my maximum speed, but I still get 320 out of it fairly straight when I'm not quite there. So I don't have to spend 6 holes warming up before I hit my driver. I can just hit a few cold swings where I'm not quite giving it the full tonk and still be playable. 290 is hitting the deck and running more. 325. So I really do need to launch the ball up because I've designed the club in the specs with the shaft and the loft to get the ball down. So when we have more loft on the ball, we hit the ball and it spins more because it grabs the face. When we have less loft, we push it more so it doesn't spin as much. So because I've done that, I'm going to launch the ball lower with less spin. So I need to launch the ball up to get more out of it again. So see if I can get my launch right up. Oh, I didn't read it. That was good though. Sent that right up in the air and it just stays there. Carry was over 300. 330, 340. Lovely. So I've had to react to the new settings on the club to get more out of it, but it's worth the effort. If I don't quite get my swing right, I'm still hitting good shots. 16 launch, 1400 spin. 1400 spin is too low in general, but there's enough pace on that ball to be fine. Let's go for the big high fade. Big high fade normally spikes the spin up, normally gets up there with more spin, resisting the air. Oh, so it's dropped back to 300. Let's just, yeah, spin spiked up to 2,800, just under. Efficiency really good, ball speed really good, just that spin holding it against the air while it's up there. Let's go for a big high draw. Let's get it right up there. Big high draw. That felt faster. I'm getting more out of the ball flight when I put more effort into it. Delightfully, 343. I did manage a 350 yesterday, but I did have a Ventus Velocore in there, which is like a 300 quid shaft. Although 200 if you're buying it with the driver. I can get a little bit more aggressive with this driver, knowing that my bad shots are still fine. If you enjoy what you watch here, go and watch another video. If you don't mind, it helps the algorithm if you watch multiple videos on my channel. And I will see you on the next one. Oh, that was such a bad strike. It was up here. And it's still 340. Nice.